Good Thursday morning. It's July the 30th, 2026. This morning I'm going to talk about trusting in lies. Let's read from Jeremiah chapter 7, verse number 3. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, amend your ways and your doings, and I will cause you to dwell in this place. In verse number 4, trust ye not in lying words, saying, the temple of the Lord, the temple of the Lord, the temple of the Lord are these. Verse number 5, for if ye thoroughly amend your ways and your doings, if ye thoroughly execute judgment between a man and his neighbor. Verse 6, if ye oppress not the stranger, the fatherless, and the widow, and shed not innocent blood in this place, neither walk after other gods to your hurt. Verse number 7, then I will cause you to dwell in this place, in the land that I gave to your fathers forever and ever. And lastly, in verse 8, behold, ye trust in lying words that cannot profit. Well, we're talking about trusting in lies here, and we'll begin with some introductory thoughts. You know, that few people would readily admit to trusting in lies. And any individual placing his trust in something outside of the words of God, that is in danger of doing so. So, you know, if you are believing in lies and you're trusting in the lies, you are putting yourself in quote-unquote danger. You know, through the prophet Jeremiah, the Lord warned his people of this danger of numerous occasions. Jeremiah chapter 7, verses 4 and 8, and Jeremiah chapter 13, verse 25, and Jeremiah chapter 29, verse 31. You know, even today, people all over the world choose, to bow down to certain idols and images, thinking, that these creations of wood and stone and metal can assist them in some way. No, they're not going to assist you in any kind of way. And other people who would never think to bow down to an idol, place their trust in education or something similar. Well, you know what? Unfortunately, they're going to be multitudes sorely disappointed. Yes, definitely. For they are unwittingly placed, where they've unwittingly placed their trust in the lies of this world. You can't put your faith in this world or in people, things, objects, whatever it may be. You can't put your faith in anything but the Lord above. And don't lie to yourself when it comes to that. So some devotional thoughts here. When I'm going to start out with the children. That the people of Lystra, they worshipped many gods. And when Paul healed a man, they were going to make Paul a god. Well, these men and women were believing lies. Let's don't believe lies, people. Paul quickly told them of the only one who could help them, and that is the Lord above, people. You can go to Acts chapter 14, verses 11 through 15, and Psalm chapter 115, verses 4 through 9. Now, when it talks about everyone here, what are some things in which the people of this world place their trust? Well, they'll definitely tell you, most people that I've noticed put their trust, a lot of their trust, into worldly things. And they say, a lot of them say, well, I believe in the Lord too. But, you can't have both. You have to have, one or the other, and the one that is solely the one that you need to be trusting in everything in your life and in the ways of your life that you will go about going, and to depend on is the Lord above. You know, you can't trust in nothing else but that. What is the worst thing that could happen for all eternity to those who place their trust in lies? Well, first of all, if you don't believe in Him above, and when you perish from here, you don't believe in Jesus, you're going to hell. So, Jesus is not a lie. The Lord is not a lie. His creation of this earth is not a lie. But what man has made, they may have made it, but that's not going to save your life. What are some ways in which believers can place their trust in lies? Like, example, media, politics, science, and education. Well, what are some ways in which believers can place their trust in lies? Well, when it comes to believers, putting their trust in lies, TV, television, lie, L-I-E, vision. Television is a lie. Politicians, they're not truthful either. But people put their faith in that. Education, curriculum that they teach these kids these days, even when I was growing up, the government wants certain things taught, and the government, it lies. And whether the teacher believes in that curriculum or not, they have to teach it the way the government says. And I would say some things on here, but I'm not going to start on that high horse. But things that I was taught growing up is not really true. Some of the things that I was taught growing up in school is not true. And I believed it because I looked up to the people teaching it, because they were adults and you respect them because you look up to them. And that's how it all starts, trusting in lies, and you don't really know that it's a lie until you find out later on in life that it is. And it's sad, and it's even with science, everything, just everything. Food, the foods we eat, they're not nutritious for us. The things they've got in the foods these days, they're bad for us. And I'm getting to the point where, they say that foods are good for us, and, certain foods, but with the additives and stuff they've got in the foods, you need to be basically organic, grow your own foods, to be healthy. And sometimes it's hard to do that when you don't have the resources of doing that. You can go to food markets. Then again, you have to think about finances and the ability to get those resources. And some people just do the best they can, and they're just making it. And it's sad. It's a sad process. It's all about money. Money, money, money. That's all people seem to want to think about, is money. And I know that's the only way we can live and to survive. A lot of times is having funds to be able to provide for ourselves, to have the things we have. It's all a lie. And it's sad that it's the way it is. And pharmaceuticals, let's give you this medicine to get you well, but in the long run, you take that medicine for something, and it's going to run something else. So, it's a money-making business because they want you to die out early. It's not like they want you to stay alive, but they'll make it go ongoing so they can get some money out of you. pharmaceuticals or whatever, it may be, and get you coming into the doctors, just like insurance. Insurance is a lie too, auto insurance, the way they charge for you to have auto insurance, they'll just put a price on, and it's ridiculous how they bump it up like they do. But that's life, just all about money, what they can make, the big dogs. Let's see, how can this hinder believers in their fellowship with the Lord? Well, don't let this hinder your fellowship with the Lord. The Lord is truthful. We need to look to him for all things, through all things, and ask him to provide us a way to get away from the lie. And that's what I'm starting to do now. I'm seeing everything as a lie. People, I'm not saying everybody is out there to hurt others, but a lot of people are just out there for what they can get. They get everything they want out of you, and they may not even be in love with you, and they're just with you for momentarily, maybe support, whatever, just to have someone with them. But it's ridiculous. The morals of this country, the morals of this earth, it's ridiculous if you ask me. So some prayer thoughts here. Ask the Lord to guard you from trusting in lies. Yes, definitely. Sometimes we don't know when we're believing in something. We're having faith and truth that is the truth until we find out otherwise. It's not like it's deception, is what it is. So beware of who's telling what and what you're believing in, and ask the Holy Spirit and the Lord to come within you to reveal that to you, because you want to live on the good things, the truth, and not listen to lies, because people lie like it's going out of style, and people like to hurt others, for their gain, and use and have others plot against you as well, for their gain. And sometimes, it just is what it is. That's why, I really would like fellowship with others, but I have to be aware of the company you keep. Be aware of the company you keep, Ask God to show you the lies in which you might be trusting. Yes, definitely start today asking the Lord to reveal those lies that you're trusting in. Because I'm going to tell you, this year, especially here recently in the past few months, he has revealed so many lies to me. Things I have believed all my life about, education and look at this. I just had a butterfly come near me and was fluttering around me. It's beautiful. Sometimes it makes me think I've got an angel by me. But beware. Just beware of the lies out there that you're trusting in. Ask the Lord to reveal those things to you that you were trusting in, to make sure they are truthful. If they're not, get away from them. I have eliminated myself away from so much. I don't want to be eliminating myself, because, but I want to be healthy. I'm trying to work myself where I can get back on a good track where I'm healthy again, and I'm getting a lot better than what I was spiritually and mentally, and I'm working on the physical part now, and I'm just going to keep this going because I want to be close to the Lord, and I appreciate the Lord and what he gives me and the life he's still giving me each and every day. So the song that goes along with this lesson, trusting my faith looks up to thee, and your faith needs to look up to Jesus.